I'm back out. I don't know where this is picking up from, but essentially, oh my god, that is the nicest looking Cunningham I've ever seen. I've got to, hang on, have a go at that. Wow, that's such a nice lizard. It's got like the perfect coppery red colour from the back end. God, they're pretty. It's been a while since I've seen a Cunningham. They're a colonial species, so there'll be, you know, there could be somewhere between 5 and 8 in this little escarpment here, and he's just sticking his head out to have a bask. How good's that? First reptile, I was literally walking up here to go look in those caves and crevices for brown tree snakes, but caught me by surprise. That is sick. I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit closer to him, but I'm sure you can sort of make out, you know, colours, hopefully. Anyway, it's a really nice lizard. As I was saying, back out, I don't know where this is picking up from, but yeah, basically coming out today just to see whatever's active. I walked out in the backyard this morning, the water skinks everywhere. You can feel it's warming up, you know, the activity on the ID pages and whatever is the community page has been going off tap. So I thought I'd come out for a walk, and the first place I'm starting is up on the escarpment. The goal for today is really just try and find whatever I can, whether that be snakes in crevices, lizards out basking, or you know, potentially a snake active. But we're just going to see what happens, and yeah, keep you posted. This here is what we're looking for. That there is a snake track. Oh, there goes the red bull. That's a snake track right there. It's actually gone over footprints. So, like, I don't know, I can't remember the last person I saw, but that's recent. You actually see the curves there. Comes through. Wow, it's a big snake. When I mean big, it's not a whip snake. It's probably brown tiger, red belly, something like that. Let's keep our eyes peeled. It's a cracking view. Feeling good. I'm sweating, and I've just been literally walking. I've had the Cunninghams out. We've got snake tracks. I think it's only a matter of time before we bump into something, but I think the most important thing is we just cover ground, and I've got a lot of that to do. Basically just gonna be punching along the edge of this escarpment, looking for like caves like that down there, to have a look in, and then we'll make our way back through, I suppose you call it the heath. Well, spring is definitely here. Wow, this ridge is just literally exploded with flowers. That is nuts. Well, it's a good sign. It means things are actually warming up. What the f is that? This thing doesn't look very well. He's just running up this tree, but oh, there he is. Okay, he's right there. Oh, there you go. You can see his fluff. I don't know what this is. Look at that little face. What are you? Whatever it is, it's adorable. But there's something wrong with it. Can't quite tell what it is. I think it's just a mouse or a rat. I don't know if it's native or not. But whatever it is, it's not well. It shouldn't be out at this time. Yeah, it looked like it had been bitten on the back end. Like the fur was all missing and roughed, and its legs weren't really working properly. Interesting. But I'd say something had it, or pulled it out of its hollow that it was in. Anyway, that is the second ever bearded dragon I've seen in Bri, and it is huge. That's a beast, man. I'm going to quickly take a photo on my camera, and then I'm going to have a closer look at it. That is insane. That is massive. Look at this absolute weapon of a lizard. Wow, they are so impressive, especially when they're this big and this pretty. It's got that, like when we first saw it, I might put a photo up on the screen, but it was literally completely black. And then now that we've obviously had him in the sun for a little bit more, and that he's near me, he's punched those colours out. So you can literally see on his head there, it's almost green, but it's like a yellow, goes all the way down the tail. Very typical of the Easterns, that big yellow mouth. And yeah, literally one of the best lizards I've ever seen in Bri. That is, well, I'm going to call it, it's the best lizard I've seen in Bri. This is nuts. So as I was saying before, bearded dragons are not common in this area, and I think it's one because of the amount of urban expansion that's going on. We've always got apartments getting put in, or houses getting knocked down, land getting renewed. So that obviously disturbed the beardies to start off with, which, you know, when you speak to anyone that used to be in Boreal a long time ago, they said bearded dragons were more common than the water dragons. But obviously, I think that's the same everywhere. It's all taken over, and, you know, the water dragons have adapted quicker. The beardies did not. And I think this is one of the most impressive reptiles I've ever seen in Boreal. And I think it's just because of how unlikely you are to find them. But to find one this big is a stretch anyway. Like, this is the biggest bearded dragon I've seen ever. I'm talking in captivity and in the wild. Like, this is huge. It's beautiful. So I think I mentioned it before. He'd probably be around 20 years of age. And for it to not have been eaten by one of the dogs that walk, you know, out of the hundreds of dogs that walk here every week, the cats, the foxes that are around, the big lace monitors, and still be thriving like it is, it's pretty impressive. It's not often you get to meet an animal like this, especially in an area that's so overpopulated. Like Sydney, Central Coast, you know, it's always happening. I think what's saved this fella in particular, and probably a lot of the other animals around, is because of where we are. We can't expand much further. We're on the top of a hill, and, you know, around me is just essentially escarpment and mountain ranges. There's not much to it as far as building houses on, but perfect for this fella. And I couldn't be happier with seeing him today. I had no expectations whatsoever. I literally just saw some lizards active in my backyard and thought I'd come for a walk. And look what we turned up. Anyway, I'm going to let this fella keep going with whatever he's doing, warming up in the sun. Hopefully he stays away from the dogs, because I'd love to see him around again. And yeah, have a good one, mate. As you can see, he got the defensive display. He hasn't taken his eyes off me. But they are quite a character, the bearded dragons, no doubt about it. He actually, when I was taking photos, he grabbed my softbox and ran off. So, yeah, not the happiest bloke on the planet, but why would you be? I think that's why he does so well, though, with a personality like that. Anyway, mate, I'll see you later. Alright, g'day, we're back out on another weekend. Last week was pretty good with the beardie and the Cunningham, but this is going to be the hottest day of the year so far, of the season. It's supposed to get up to 27 degrees, so we've punched out to a well-known spot to hopefully find a brown snake, but honestly, anything will do. But right now we're just going to do a bit of cruising. Might go for a bit of walking as well, just to see what we can find, but yeah, see what happens. Just pulled up to a campground, and that is the most iconic Australian site I've ever seen. Big lace monitor right in the middle of the campground. I can guarantee you he is just absolutely scabbing people when they come here. Only a little fella. He's struggling. There he is, mad. How good's that? I never get tired of seeing him. Anyway, I'll leave him to it. Where the hell did he just go? Oh, there he is. Alright. Pretty little thing. And he's boosted. Right, well, I'm back out again. Did quite a bit of looking last weekend, but didn't turn up much. It was the first hot day of the season so far, about 27 degrees. What are you, water skink? But yeah, we're back out. It's a bit cooler today, about 21, sunny, but I thought I'd actually get out of the car, because obviously that's not working. And yeah, walk a track I've never walked before, so it's a nice escarpment around. There's plenty of stuff out already, lizards wise, but planning on seeing snakes, hopefully. I haven't seen one of these in ages. It's a red-throated skink. They're so pretty. Missing the end of his tail anyway. Wow, that's cool. I think there we go. They're so cool. Yellow-tailed black cockatoo. That's mad. Well, I literally nearly stepped on this thing. Red-bellied black snake. I wasn't paying attention. I was on the phone and I was looking to the side, and I literally nearly stepped on this thing. I'm not even kidding. Oh my god. Wow, that's sick. 5 minutes into the walk and we have our first snake. A red-bellied black snake, and quite a nice looking one. I mean, typical of the area. I wouldn't say this is, you know, the best looking red-belly you've ever seen, but still a nice snake. They always are. Good to finally kick off a day the right way with the snake. Off he goes. Well, I'm not going to be naughty. I'll listen to the rules. The track I wanted to go down is closed, so change of plans. I'm going to walk back up the top and yeah, see what else. I don't know where I'm going to go from here, but probably another walking track nearby. How's this? Big lace monitor. He owns this track for sure. There is literally people, cars everywhere. Like, you're the best. Right, so yesterday didn't quite go to plan. I mean, sorry, the morning walk was great. We got that black snake and a few other things, but after that I tried to go to a few different spots and yeah, it wasn't paying off. There wasn't much out, so I didn't end up filming any of that, but back out for a new day again. It's supposed to be another cracker around 25. I thought I'd get out early, like I've already seen plenty around the yard anyway. Not that that's an indicator, but yeah, I'm going to try another walking trail today, one that I am familiar with, and I suppose the target for today is a heath monitor because it's the only spot in my local area I've been able to see them. So fingers crossed that happens. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. Here's a more extreme example of what we were looking at yesterday as far as death adder habitat. It's got every box ticked right in front of me, like especially because you're at the base of the escarpment. You're still on the escarpment, you can see the plateaus there, but that leaf litter that builds up, of course, at the base of big gum trees, banksia, you know, scattered escarpment through it, bit of dense bush, and plenty of lizards around. This would be a great spot for a death adder, but it's funny because that camouflage is next to perfect. So unless they kind of expose themselves basking, there's not a big chance you'll see one at all. Okay, I think we've got a lace monitor. I haven't actually seen it yet. It might be a heath monitor, but it's being very still right now. Pretty sure it just went underneath this slab. Oh wow, look at that. What skull is that? It's a fox. Well, judging off the skull here, which is a fox, I think. It has to be a fox. I'd say that's a lace monitor. Geez, he's done that himself. I'm going to try and not to disturb this too much, but at least have a look of what we're dealing with. Alright, it's a lace monitor. He's sitting right there at the back. There you go. Young lace monitor. No doubt the tracks that we saw before, and obviously this is his residence. Judging off what's out the front of it, and in it there's bones everywhere, which is so cool to see. And if that is a fox skull, which I don't think there could be anything else that looks like this with those teeth on it, then I'm very proud of you, sir. Well, would you look at that? We're on the way out of the trail, and another gorgeous little red belly. Obviously got one yesterday morning, and super stoked to see one today as well. And yeah, the snakes are well and truly on the move. This little fella is stunning. I mean, not towards down here, but under his chin, he's absolutely beautiful. He almost had a little copper nose happening, but yeah, this locality red bellies is always pretty nice. Yeah, super stoked to finally get a snake again today, which is great. And hopefully it just keeps getting more and more consistent as the season warms up. But yeah, stoked to finally have a couple snakes in a day or two. It's been pretty rough over winter, obviously, not being able to find snakes, but I'm very happy that we can now. How good is that? Such a nice snake. All right, we're back out. Another early spring day. It's like 21 degrees. Bit of sun out though. Geez, I feel like Tim Bailey for that. Anyway, yeah, we're looking for angle-headed dragons and also diamond pythons at the target today. So I thought I'd move off the escarpment, come down into the rainforest a little bit. And this is probably one of the only places on the coast that's got like proper rainforest, which is why you get the angle-headed dragons here. But the diamond pythons in this area are the best out of any of the localities, like as far as the yellow goes. The high yellows here are just insane. So fingers crossed we can find one of them, but honestly anything that's active, this is more just a probe, you know, to see what's sort of going on in this area and give me a good gauge for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, see what happens. So I know this track really well, and it's one of my favourites, and I'm sure you can see why. It's absolutely gorgeous in here. But this is kind of what we're dealing with. This hill will be on my left probably the whole way, apart from like 2 spots. And it just has this dappled sunlight, like you can just see there's a bunch of different basking spots in there, and that's what I'm hoping to see the snakes in today. There's just sort of this stuff, this patchy sunlight. Diamond pythons love this stuff, especially the ones around here. They've got rock wall at the top of the hill, but they will come down here to this stuff to expose themselves to that sunlight. So fingers crossed it pays off. I walked down here to take a piss, and you can't write this. The first snake of the day, beautiful black snake. I am so surprised that didn't even move. I walked down there, literally walked down to where I am now, was taking a piss. And this fella is literally just sitting there, has not moved a muscle. Wow. There's not a chance I would have seen that snake unless I come down here as well. And the fact that he didn't even move is what's surprised me more than anything. I wasn't quiet coming down here, I was pretty loud. That is sick. I think if I move now, he'll definitely boost. Wow, that's unreal. How good's that? First snake of the day. Hopefully one of a few. But yeah, I'm just going to try and get some good videos of this fella. It's actually quite a large red belly. I'd say he's around 1.6. 1.4 is like average size, but and 1.6 isn't massive, but it is nice to see a full-grown snake. There he is, just sitting there with that tongue. Pretty average-looking black snake, but you'd expect that for one of his age. But I'm actually just enjoying watching him. And he's off. I don't know how I got this close, but we did. Wow. So cool. That never gets old, ever. You're being a bit dramatic. Lace monitor. Relax. It's not that bad, mate. That's pretty cool. Alright, we're at the next spot. Now this spot's actually a bit more of a flip spot than anything else. Got a few boards and a bit of tin as well. It is warm enough for stuff to be active and basking, but I think what's going to be under the tin is probably going to be juveniles, like especially red bellies. It'll probably be like neonates and marsh snakes, those things that want to come out at night. I'm hoping for a she-oak skink because I haven't actually seen one of them in a very long time, and this used to be my best spot for them in my area, so we'll see what happens. But there's any chance we see stuff active too, because it's actually still quite warm. This spot has been absolutely torn to pieces. Used to be very much overgrown and like very little disturbance, as far as like, of course people have done something rubbish here, but you rarely ever saw anything new in the last sort of 5 to 10 years. But they've done quite a bit of work with the machines out here. These boards have been buried. Oh yeah, there you go. A little red belly. That's what we're talking about. Cracking little snake. That's so cute. Wow. Well, I'm glad there's still snakes here, that's for sure. And I was saying before, it's very typical to see the baby snakes, which I think is still right in front of me. Yeah, he's here. No, he's not. But yeah, the juveniles, they love this stuff. So little red belly, that's pretty cool. But yeah, there used to be heaps of other boards. You could see where they used to be. I try not to step on him wherever he went. It will surprise you what's next here under. This piece is just not even it's not marshy. Alright, well he's disappeared for sure. Yeah. We saw him for 2 seconds. Wow, I didn't expect anything to be under there. Look how high it is off the ground. Well, I wasn't expecting there to be anything, but there's a little marsh snake under here and he's gone. There we go. So 2 marsh snakes and a red belly. Still really productive for what it is. It's just a dump site, but the habitat's so good for them. There's obviously an endless amount of food around here, which is why they can hold so many snakes. Well, that'll probably do it for this video. I'm trying my best to get out at the moment. It's only just started warming up, so this summer the videos should be pumping. And yeah, we've got a lot to achieve, a lot of trips planned as well, so it should be exciting. But otherwise, I'll see you next time.
Say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we live.